right, we are live and we will get started in just a few moments. We're waiting for a few people to enter the room and get settled. We'll start momentarily. If you're joining us online, thank you very much. All right, so we're testing sound, testing video. If you're joining us online, we'll be starting just in a moment and waiting for a few people to get tea and snacks here in the room. And when they get settled, we'll get started. If you're joining us online, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, let's get started. Well, today in my first tea for the year, I would like to simply just go through my website and the resources and things that are available for parents and students from the Morrison Academy Type A Counseling Center, MATCC, that's what that means. And I just want to start out by saying, if there are any questions, if you can go to our website, or if the first thing on our website is book an appointment with Mr. Kablish. And I do encourage you to email us or make an appointment and come see Mrs. Bonnie Huang and I about any questions you have about high school course planning, college planning, tests, and other resources that we have. Mrs. Bonnie Huang is new this year, and she is she's doing a wonderful job. But she's still kind of learning. I'm still training her on all the different aspects of what we do in the Counseling Center. And so if you want to email matcc@ma.org.tw, that email actually comes to both of us. And if it's in English or Mandarin, that's fine. We meet together and we see what people need and answer as promptly as we can. So please book an appointment, talk face-to-face if you prefer. Or if you would like to send us an email, please do so. We want to answer your questions and make sure that you have the information that you need. So the Counseling Center, we do have a website that has all kinds of resources. We will have 4 teas this year. And I'm actually thinking about changing some of the order. So don't put that on your calendar yet for the next 3 teas. We may adjust that, but there are 4 teas every year, 1 a quarter. And some of the information is repeated year to year as we have new high school parents and students and new students entering into high school. But also I do update this and change it from time to time. So these are on the website, and we'll also put it in the Bronco Bulletin and our email. If you are a high school parent and you are not receiving our MATCC email every Friday in your inbox, if you're not receiving that, please let us know. And so we can check and make sure that your email is correctly listed in that email group. Yeah. Hi, if you're just joining us, yeah, come on in, have some tea, grab a snack. Yeah, so the high school highlights and announcements, this is also included in our weekly email. And what we do, Ms. Bonnie Huang takes, there's a lot of information in the Bronco Bulletin. But for some parents, high school parents, that's a lot of information to sift through. Our email from the MAT-CC takes all that information and it condenses it down to what applies to just high school students. So it is kind of a repeat, but it's less information. If you're just looking for high school announcements and high school information, that it's on our website and the Friday email. And so on the announcements, we put things that are pertinent to all high school students. We also make announcements if there are like important deadlines. Like here's an example, the PSAT is coming up towards the end of October. And so there are important dates and deadlines and things that are on this page, as well as other links that you will also see in the Bronco bulletin. I also have sections here, the seniors. Once we start the senior year and we come back to school, it is, as I say, it's go time for applications. And so seniors have their own section here of what they need to be working on at the beginning of the senior year. And so I have my suggested activities and timeline here, for students and parents to see. There's testing here. There's number 3 is about the FAFSA. That's the financial documents that you need to be aware of for college applications and things like that. So all this information is here. And this is a timeline so that we see it all in one place. But then there are resources elsewhere on the website. Now, a lot of activity happens at the beginning of the senior year. October 1st that's a big day for seniors who are in the application process. Everything that the students are doing, where they want to apply, who's going to write their letters of recommendation, all these things, they need to be communicating with me and kind of wrapping up to have a nice solid plan by October 1st. Now, I'm going to start that discussion with them in the 11th grade year. But this is where it comes to a point where, okay, we need to nail down this plan and make sure that I understand and parents understand and the student understands. So we're all on the same page. What's your plan for college? Where are you going to apply? There are also some resources here on the website for the different types of applications. I had a question as soon as I walked in the room. A parent asked me a question about types of applications. The big categories are just regular decision, regular deadlines. But earlier deadlines, there are 2 very important categories. I encourage students to apply early action because early action means they're applying early and they're going to get an admission answer earlier as well. And so if they're working during the summer to finalize their lists and write their essays, I encourage them to write their essays during the summer, not when we start school, because they have their other schoolwork. Right? But the early action deadlines allow them to have most of their applications finished between October 15th and November 30th. That's when a lot of the early action deadlines are. And so they can be finished with their applications. Yeah. Now, one category that is a little more complex, but is very important to understand is some schools have what they call early decision. And the key point in early decision applications is there is a contract. The parents have to sign a contract. The student signs that contract. And then it comes to me. Our application system informs me. This student has applied early decision, and I must sign. stating that I have advised this student on the seriousness of ED, early decision applications. The contract simply says, university, if you accept me, I'm going to your school. And so that's a very, very important decision. You have to be very certain. I want to go to that school, and we're financially prepared to pay for that school because you have contractually agreed already to. You've signed the agreement before you actually receive the financial package. So that is a very, very important decision, and that needs to be understood. And so you can only apply to one ED school. Yeah, for obvious reasons. Now, it gets even more complex. If you get rejected from ED round 1, then you are free to apply to some other schools. Some other schools have ED round 2. So you could, but that's only after you have been rejected from the first ED1 round. Yeah. We've had students who were rejected from the ED round, updated their application, and they were accepted to that same school during the regular application round. So it can be very complex, very, very complex. But again, like I said, in our application system, we just need to make sure that that student's college list is there and all of the rounds are set. Are they going to apply ED, early action, regular deadlines? And so parents and I and the students, we all see the same information and we know when the deadlines are. Yeah. But again, the descriptions of those types of applications are here on my website. Or if you encounter those aren't the only categories. There are some more. Now universities or early action, you can apply to as many as you want early action, but some schools have come up with new strategies. They have restricted early action, and they say, oh, if you want to apply to our school early action, that's fine, but you can only have, say, 5 other early action schools. Now, ethically, I don't agree. I do not agree with that. I don't like that. But some schools, they set those restrictions, and so if a student wants to apply to that school early action, then they'll need to abide by that. But for the most part, most schools early action, you can apply to as many as you want. Okay. All right. Another page that we have on the website is for just high school planning, like just for the high school courses. And so there are resources on there. Big Future is a College Board resource that I have that link there, and students can go on there and look at careers. They can look at majors, and I want them to start researching, okay, if I want to do this job or have this major in college, then what high school classes do I need to take? How do I prepare for that? And when I meet with students, I actually sit down with them with a 4-year plan. And so we go year by year, but then as they progress from in 9th grade, we'll talk about 10th grade. Well, but then we may talk about 11 and 12 as well. We may talk about the entire course of math across the 4 grades or science. So we're always doing some future thinking when I meet and talk with them about high school classes, so they understand the progression. If you want to take this in your senior year, well, then these are the courses you need to start thinking about now. And so that resource is there. Big Future and the 4-year course plan is also there on the website. Yeah. College Board also has these resources, and I have them printed here if you're interested in them. And this just gives a general guideline of, during grades 9 and 10, what should you be thinking about? What should you be talking about as a family? What should you be talking to your counselor about? So I have 9 and 10 is actually 1 page, and then grade 11 is 2 pages, and grade 12 is 2 pages. And I'm working on a new resource. I'm developing it this year, and hopefully I'll get it published soon. But it will be an actual, like, this is from College Board, right? But this will be a resource that I will have on the website and posted upstairs in the high school. And this will be, like, this is actually what Mr. Kablish does in grades 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is what you as a student should be doing. And then this, column 3, is what the parents should be aware of, which is essentially what the students should be doing as well. And so this is something that Mr. Sawyer and I would have talked about developing, so that it's very clear, like, this is what Mr. Kablish does, and this is what the students and parents are responsible for. Now, so those are, like I said, I have them here. If if students want to come and pick them up in my office, they're always in my office. Or if you want some now, they're here and available for you. Or you can go right online on my website and find them. SciAlpho. SciAlpho is the name of the college application platform that I was just talking about. SciAlpho is going to be introduced to grade 11 early Q2. I will have an advisory meeting with them. I'll have them together as a whole class, and I will introduce the SciAlpho system to them so they can begin researching colleges and starting to build that college list. So the 11th graders will receive that. And again, SciAlpho is not the actual applications. SciAlpho is just where we organize the application process. Okay, yeah. And then Common App. Common App is another platform where students can apply. They fill out one application. We put the documents in there, and that one application can go to up to 20 universities. So that makes the application process nicer for the students. One application, 20 schools. That's a good deal. Now, you still have to pay the admission or application fee for each one of those schools. But the written work for the student, application, essay, things like that, it's condensed, and it goes up to 20 schools. And so SciAlpho and Common App simply link. Yeah. And for me, SciAlpho is, I explain it to the students, SciAlpho is an information conduit between me and your universities. And so I will actually send all of the Morrison documents, I will send them through SciAlpho to the university. And I can see, like, confirmation of delivery. Like, if I send, when I send Eden's transcript to her university, it will tell me it has been received by that university, and I can track it. Okay, so that also helps as we see, okay, the documents are there. Now, even though I can see confirmation of delivery, some universities, they're receiving thousands of applications. And so I may deliver it, we may have confirmation of delivery, but then the process kind of goes back to the student, where they have to look at their application portal with that school. And slowly they will see the university has actually processed it. Okay, now we've seen your transcript. Oh yes, now we've read your letters of recommendation. And but that can take, sometimes that can take weeks. And so we have to be patient. It's like, I can say, okay, I know it was delivered, but now we have to give that university time to process through hundreds, thousands of applications. Yeah. So again, as soon as students have access to SciAlpho, they can put their parents' information in there in their little profile, and then you will have access to it as well. So you simply log on, you see exactly what your child sees. Yeah. And then I have a little bit different view, administration, but yeah. So we are all on the same page for the application plan. Finances. I will have a completely separate tea about that. Finances can be very tricky. Yeah, there are if you're a passport holder for that country, there are certain benefits and advantages when you apply. If you apply internationally, you have to make sure that you're looking at the international student admission requirements. Make sure it's very clear what you need to do. One key difference for international students is you need to look at English proficiency requirements. Now, for a lot of students, the fact that we are a US accredited school, language of instruction is all English. Once that is explained and the university sees our profile, our school profile explains our curriculum, our grades, and things like that, our students' SAT scores, things like the fact that we have AP courses. But once they see the profile, they go, okay, now we understand your program and we see your transcript. Okay, so English shouldn't be a problem. But there are still some schools, they say it doesn't matter. You're an international student, we must see an English test score. Okay? So that's something to be mindful of if you're applying to, as an international, English proficiency requirements and the international student requirements. Make sure you understand those. And finances is another part of that. Specifically for U.S. schools, if you are a U.S. passport holder, there are financial benefits and packages, loans, grants, scholarships, and things like that that are available to a U.S. passport holder, but not necessarily an international student. And so there's then the international students, they feel a little more pressure, right? Because their scholarship and their financial discount, really a lot of it is based on their academic performance, and so they feel that pressure. And I know our students, I see them in the study hall. They're right there. My office is right next to the study lounge, and many of them, I see them working so hard. And so, and when it comes to finances, speaking as a parent of 2 kids in college right now, you have to be prepared to just be very open and transparent with your finances as you apply and fill out the financial documents for the schools. And so it can be a very stressful time. I do understand that. But yeah, if you have questions, if you receive financial information from universities, you really don't understand what it means, you can ask me. We may have to email that admissions office and that university's financial office for clarification. But yeah, we'll do that. Please make sure you understand all of the financial information before you commit and before you sign. Yeah. College essays are also a big source of maybe like pressure and stress for our students. And so there are resources here on my website, but they're online. There are all kinds of resources as well, YouTube videos and websites on strategies for writing great essays. And I do encourage students to not to over stress, but take time to read and think about their essays. That's why I do encourage students to start doing college research in grade 11, and then during the summer between grade 11 and 12, they're actually writing those essays because they have time. They have time. Many of them do have camps and activities, things like that. It's not like they're doing nothing, but they're not going to have the academic workload like they have when they're in school, in session. And so I see some students there, it's like, oh, I hear them, oh, I've got to finish my essay. And that's on top of all of their schoolwork. So I do encourage, like, write your essays in the summer. Yeah. I mean, I use my daughter as an example. Now, she only applied to 7 schools. But again, if it's Common App, then it's a lot easier. But so by midsummer, she had her essays written, and then she continued to draft them and revise them. And then you have to actually wait until August 1st, and then Common App opens up for the next year. And so by August 4th, she had her applications in. She took her essays that she had written, and she could simply go from a Google Doc, copy, paste, done. Before she even started her senior year, she was finished with all of her applications. And my son, he was more of a procrastinator. Love him. If he sees this video, he'll nod his head. Now he waited a little bit longer, and he felt that, like, he had to do his essays while he was in the middle of his senior year. And so again, I do encourage students to read the resources and think about their essays. Students can actually they can find resources online, like what are the different types of essays. There are different essays that certain universities use, and that's just known. And so a student can actually do that research. Some want a personal narrative, some want a story where you had a challenge and you overcame it, and so there are different themes to these college essays. And so the students can actually be thinking about that, like, wow, do I have a good, like, story that connects to that type of essay? Some universities give options, like, just choose one of these, and so there are a variety even from the same university. So doing that research, preparing, can really help the students write and do well. There are more and more schools that are going back to standardized tests, and so SATs. There are still some that are test optional. So those schools that are test optional, they're really relying more on the transcript and that student's essay to make those admission decisions. So yeah, I encourage them to take time to write their essays well. Yeah. We're in a season right now where we're quite busy having college reps come and visit our school. And for years, when we moved into this school and we built a high school, we were like, yeah, college reps, and then COVID. And no one traveled, right? And so it's actually only been in the last couple of years where we've now started to build up the momentum and networking of universities that are coming through and visiting our school. And so this is it's on the website. And so anytime we've scheduled a college rep, it goes here on our website. It gets posted on the TV in the high school pod for the students. And it then also goes out every Friday. It goes out in that email. And anytime we have a college rep, parents are invited. Please come and talk to those reps if you'd like to, if you can. If you have a specific question, if you can't come, but you have a specific question for a rep, simply email us. We can ask that question for you, or make sure to grab some information on that university from that college rep and get it to you if you let us know that you're interested. Yeah, I think our next, October 14th. I think, we have during lunch we have another like a little mini fair. So there are several schools listed there. They'll be there on the 14th. Other resources that we have that people really don't know a whole lot about are just parenting, like parent resources. And so if you check the website under parent resources, we do have some links for researching media and like computer use and online use and like apps and things that your kids use on their phones. You can go and you can look up those things. And we have one that's a secular app or reviews, and one that's Christian reviews of TV shows, movies, games, apps, and things like that. So I do encourage parents. I know you're busy, but as much as you can, please be aware of what your children are consuming on their devices. And so those resources are there. Also from a Christian organization called Axis, we have other parenting resources for like how to talk to your child about like this subject, or how to talk to them about things that really are trending in our culture now. Like how do we talk about these things? How do we process these things? How do we give them room to talk and ask questions, but point them to the truth? And these are challenging things to do as parents in today's time, and we're still processing with our kids. Our kids both go to a Christian university, and sometimes they'll message us and like, wow, I encountered this even in a Christian school. I encountered this person and this tough topic, and so we're still processing and encouraging our kids even now that they're in college and university. So there are parenting resources here as well. So, okay. All right. Well, that is a very quick overview. I don't want this to be too long. So if we do have questions here in the room, let's just pause momentarily. I would like to wrap up the online session, and then I will be free for any questions that we have here. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you for joining us online.